Alrighty guys, we are here. We have early access patch number 1. I'm super excited to go through these patch notes. They just barely dropped like 1 minute ago, so here we go. Looks like servers will be down in the next half an hour or so. I'm going to be uploading this instantly, so the timetable should be pretty much the same for you guys. And it looks like they will be back up. Server will return for 4 hours, so we're gonna be down for 4 hours, so it's not gonna be till like 9 p.m. that we actually get to play this, but here are the changes. Fixes. Fix an issue where the player character's hair could appear strangely depending on the head armor. I've seen this actually with the Warlock female being bald occasionally, so that's a nice fix, I guess. Fix an issue where the player character's inner face could be exposed. Fix an issue where T-poses could be exposed when consuming a potion. I've seen that a few times. Fix an issue where the ankles could appear turned when sitting down after wearing the battle axe. Okay, so I guess your ankles would be like at weird angles after using a battle axe. Interesting. Fix an issue where reactive shield and dark reflection could not be activated. Interesting. Fix an issue where sometimes item options were not created properly. I assume this is where the like perks on the item, like you get a green but will have no rolls on it. I'm wondering if that might be it. Item options were not created properly. Yeah, that's my best guess on that one. Fix an issue where torch skin was missing animations. I assume this is with the blue torch. There must have been a missing animation with that. I haven't really been using it, but glad to see that's fixed. Fix an issue where the lantern would sometimes not light up. I actually had this once. I was in the middle of the zone. I had a lantern out because I didn't have any torches, and I was like, bro, this isn't working, I swear. And yeah, so that'll be a nice fix. Fix an issue where hit sounds would be played when goblins die. Fix an issue where Dark Swarm's next area could be designated as the outskirts of the map. Oh, interesting. So this is when you would spawn into the map and the swarm would just be like everywhere. And so we shouldn't get that anymore. Fix an issue where if you drink a potion and use stealth outside of Dark Swarm, stealth would not be broken even if you took damage. Fix an issue where the trading post rarity filter was sorted by name rather than by rarity. Interesting. I've never actually tried the rarity filter, so I'll have to give that a try. Fix an issue in trading posts where text that was too long would disappear instead of being printed on the next line. This definitely happens when you link a bunch of items and say something, it'll be off the screen, so that's nice to have fixed. Fixed an incorrectly installed portal. Incorrectly installed portal. I have no idea what they're referring to there. If you guys know, leave a comment down below. Help some other people out with some of the changes. Fix an issue where warlocks could not be granted karma. So that's why no warlocks had red names. I was wondering about that. Interesting. Fix background objects with incorrect collision, and then fix several issues that were causing crashes. Nice, less crashes, always a good thing. Alright, on to the updates. Sounds have been added to the UI, items, perks, skills, spells, etc. Nice. Water sounds now play when you step on water. 7 new emotes have been added. A feature has been added to receive server maintenance notices in-game. Additional protection against possible security vulnerabilities. Barbarian and Fighter's face shapes have been modified. Bard reworked to make the class more gear and attribute dependent. Added new attributes, manual, dexterity, persuasion. Interesting. So are these like will? Like these are new things completely? New stats? Manual, dexterity, persuasion. I wish they would have gone into more like manual dexterity does this, persuasion does this kind of a thing. But interesting. I assume this is like interaction speed. But persuasion, I honestly have no idea. Maybe it's something to do with the warlock being able to like persuade mobs to work for them or whatever. Warlock's Curse of Pain now has a slightly more generous aim. Okay, that's good. Because I swear I could shoot it between Skeleton's ribs sometimes. It's kind of ridiculous. 2 new perks have been added to Warlocks, Curse Mastery and Vampirism. 8 new spells have been added to the Warlocks. Bolt of Darkness, Evil Eye, Bloodstained Blade, Flame Walker, Life Drain, Ray of Darkness, Eldritch Shield, and Summon Hydra. Holy crap. So many things there. Bolt of Darkness, I assume that's another like zap kind of thing. Evil Eye. Oh, I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's a like a summon, some kind of eye that you can maybe scout with or something like that. Bloodstained Blade is probably some kind of a damage spell, kind of maybe like Ignite. Flame Walker, that sounds like something that you would summon. Life Drain, that seems like a way to heal yourself. by channeling on somebody. Very similar to World of Warcraft, if I had to guess. Ray of Darkness. Ray of Darkness. I wonder if that's just a buff. But I am curious to see what it turns out. Or maybe it's like a zone of darkness that the like torches come out or something. Could be interesting. Eldritch Shield. Might be a buff. Probably a buff. I'm assuming kind of like the Cleric Protection. And then Summon Hydra, which is definitely another summon thing. But if you were going to call it Summon Hydra, wouldn't you have called like Summon Flamewalker and maybe Summon Evil Eye? So maybe those aren't summons. Okay. So lots of changes out of Warlocks. Their class is much more viable probably now. Might be completely broken. We will see. Rogue will no longer break stealth when bumped if the pickpocket perk is equipped. That's going to be nice for some rogues. Rogue's hide cooldown changed from 45 seconds to 40 seconds. Rogue's cut through cooldown changed from 60 seconds to 28 seconds. So rogue buffs. Hey, you guys can rejoice. Ranger quick shot now fires a different amount of arrows based on the bow type. Nice. Okay. I assume that's the triple shot, right? Quick shot, if I'm remembering correctly. And then Ranger's quick shot cooldown changed from 18 seconds to 28 seconds. I was about to say, this is way too short right now. You don't have a very big window. Like, they can easily run during this duration. So it's kind of a problem. So that's being nerfed. Ranger's multi-shot cooldown changed from 35 seconds to 28. So multi-shot got a buff, quick shot got a nerf. Multi-shot is the one that's kind of like a shotgun. You put 5 arrows in, boom. It's kind of bad, in my opinion. It's pretty easy to like duck if you see them pull it out. But it can still be effective. Ranger's penetrating shot cooldown changed from 28 seconds to 24. So they actually buffed penetrating shot. Hunting Trap only deals 1 damage per second at all rarities instead of whatever it was previously. Wizard's Fireball damage changed. Alright, Wizard's getting nerfed again. Let's go. So we're down from 30-15 to 25-10, and this is the dot damage after the effect. So the initial hit will deal 30, and the dot will do 15, I think, right now. Right, it's like 4-4-4 or something usually. Or that's AoE damage. Actually, it's probably AoE damage. It's going to be 30 direct hit, 15 AoE, and then the dot on top of that. All weapon damage has been rebalanced. All weapon damage. So everything. We're talking maces. We're talking swords. We're talking daggers. The daggers probably already got hit. But everything's weapon damage has been rebalanced. And I'm assuming it's going to be a nerf. So things are just going to kill you less quickly. Which is probably a good thing. That's honestly kind of a buff to Wizard, right? If I can take an extra hit or something, all of a sudden my class is way more viable. So we will see exactly how that plays. Most armors have been updated and given additional bonuses in addition to just armor rating. Okay, so most armors will come with something. So it sounds like instead of just having like your gray frock, which does 10 armor rating, right? So you just want to drop it for the move speed. 99% of the time, it's going to have 1 will on it or 1 knowledge or something like that. So across the board, you're pretty much always going to wear gear because it's going to give you additional bonuses. And so dropping it makes it, for the move speed, makes it way worse in comparison, which I think is really good. That should prevent all the naked people running around. So that's super nice. Armor rating curve slightly reduced at the upper end due to the higher overall armor values. Okay, so they have updated armor values across the armor too. So everything's kind of higher. So you should naturally just have more physical damage reduction, take less damage from arrows, take less damage from swords, etc. The value range of most random modifiers has been rebalanced. Okay, so right, previously we get like +3 weapon damage, and it looks like they've been rebalanced, which could mean more or less. I assume a lot of them are less, and maybe some have been buffed, depending on how powerful they are. The battle axe now has a slightly longer range. I think they were noticing that no barbarian ever wants to use a battle axe, and they get rid of it immediately. So they're trying to make it more valuable, just like they did with the magical staff. Torches and lanterns give a slight movement speed advantage rather than a penalty. Ah, okay, this is good, because right now you really couldn't like check an area with a torch because you're probably going to get jumped by a rogue or something, right? Someone in the darkness. And as soon as that happens, you're already super slow and you have to change your weapon and everything. And so having it give you an advantage is actually kind of nice. People will use them more regularly, which should be cool. I'm okay with this. Rarity specific skins have been added for the drum and lyre. So instead of it always being the same drum, right? You'd have like a garbage looking drum and all the way up to like an ornate one, kind of like with the heater shields and some of the other things in the game. Coin bag that holds up to 500 gold coins has been added. It must be crafted at the leathersmith. Let's go. Okay, and coin chests that can hold up to 3,000 gold coins have been added. Must be found in the treasure hoards. Interesting. So you get these from the treasure hoards. So you kill a boss, you get a chest. It's something that's valuable. You can put the 3,000 coins in it and save inventory space. So this is cool. This is super cool. We have way more bank space now. So excited. 4 new artifacts have been added: Echo of Screams, Soul Reaper, Death Bloom, and Stinky Stick. So these are the named uniques that you can get from killing the high roller bosses, and they have 4 new ones. These will each have special abilities usually. Like for instance, I think there's a shield that launches projectiles hit back at the target who shot at you. Various things like that. There's a life after death axe that lets you basically get another life on your run. Stuff like that. They're super rare, super cool. They have special effects. It's exciting to see more of these. I always wanted to add more, basically. Very cool. Cloak's cloth simulation has been slightly optimized. I know this was an issue with the capes. If you had a lot of capes around you, it dropped performance significantly, so hopefully this helps with that. There are some settings that you can change and some like launch commands that you can add to disable cloth simulation that also helps. So if you're struggling with anything like that, I would do a Google search and you should be able to find a solution. Item skins are now displayed properly on the paper doll. On the paper doll. Item skins are now displayed properly on the paper doll. I have no idea what this is talking about, but cool. We have item skins displaying properly. Lockpick drop rate has been increased. Okay, so more lockpicks, especially with the fact that Bard can open them, right? And Rogue can open them, and you have all these classes that pretty much just have like permanent ability to open them. I think either you increase the drop rate or you make them not break. And so there's kind of a skill level where, hey, if I can just keep hitting my skill checks, I can keep opening chests. In my opinion, that's probably how it should be, but yeah, cool stuff. The names of level modules are now displayed in the minimap. Oh, okay, cool. So like when you go into a library or you go to the mummy room or whatever, you'll see on the minimap which room you are in. It's probably going to be easier, just standardize the names. That way when people make callouts and stuff, it's standardized. So that'll be nice. Additional layouts added to the normal Goblin Caves map pool. Okay, so there's more than just one layout for normal Goblin Caves. I wonder if that means there's a new boss, because usually they only do additional layouts when they add new bosses. Maybe. We'll have to see, although we'll probably see it in here if it is added. High roller crypt maps increased from a 4x4 to a 5x5. Okay, so high roller maps are now bigger. They have more modules in them, which should lead to less running into less teams, more time to clear, but also having to move more often in between if the zone's pulling away from you. So we'll see exactly how that goes. I believe it's the same size as the Ruins map now. So yeah, we'll see how that plays for high roller. Normal and high roller crypt now share the same map pool. Oh. Okay, so the same map pool for both normal and high roller. So you can learn in normal and then you can go into high roller. It's going to be the same maps. I assume that the monsters and the loot is going to be different, obviously, but you'll at least get more comfortable with the high roller maps without having to go into high roller. Added an extra Dark Swarm phase so players don't need to traverse as much distance at once. Okay, so there's an extra circle, I'm assuming is what that is, when we're running. So that should just make it feel a little bit less like a running simulator. Updated environments for approximately 40 level modules. So 40 different of the modules, right? Which a module is basically a room that you'd enter in. The environments have been updated on 40 of them. So that's probably most of them, honestly. So level object density for ruins and crypts has been increased. So there's just going to be more items. It's going to look more filled. Just a nicer looking dungeon, I think, generally speaking, is what this is. 1 second, I need a drink of water. These are some huge patch notes. All right. A portal has been added to the outskirts of ruins. So you can now escape ruins by going onto the outskirts. It's going to be like a guaranteed exit, probably kind of like the stairs. So you can go to that and take that if you want to just kind of farm the outside and then dip and try to avoid players. That's a new play style that they've added. Rusty Iron Door has been re-added to the High Roller pool. Rusty Iron Door has been re-added to the High Roller pool. I assume this is a map that has that in it. That's the only thing I can think of. Or it's some kind of item or something. I'm not familiar with that one. New royal coffins have been added to the dungeons. Okay, cool. New things to loot. They're going to be probably pretty similar to like a lion's head chest, but coffins instead. Previous gold chests have returned to the dungeons as marvelous chests. Okay. So we got marvelous chests now instead of gold chests. I think it's just kind of a rename, maybe a remodel as well. Additional attack patterns added to the nightmare versions of the monsters in the Goblin Cave. Okay, so Goblin Cave just got way worse in... It's probably going to be High Roller Goblin Cave, right? Because that's the only place you're going to see nightmare monsters, but there's new attack patterns there. So watch out. Skeleton champion animations have been updated. That'll be interesting. You might have to play against them completely differently if it's completely changed. Royal Guard animation has been updated. I don't know what that is. Is that a... No, if it's an animation has been updated. Royal Guard. It might just be one of the skeletons that they have, like, that's their technical name for it, and people just refer to it differently. Ruins Golem sub-boss has been added. Okay, Ruins now has a sub-boss. It's a Golem that will fight. So, new boss in the Ruins. You're going to be able to fight that. I wonder where they put it. It might be the center module again. We will see, but that's super cool. There's another boss. Merchants updated to sell much larger amounts. Merchants updated to sell a much larger amount and variety of items. So we're going to get more items. Hopefully we won't have to wait for like potions and things quite as much. We also have a greater luck potion that has been added to the fortune teller. So instead of just the normal one, I'm sure you can get like 250 luck from this one instead. So now Bard's going to be able to get like 400 luck or whatever. And I'm wondering if some of the other stats that they've added, if gear will start having luck on it as a roll that you can get. So you could build like a luck set. That could be really interesting. New craft and mining items added. Okay, so we can now craft and more mining items. So I assume that'll allow us to make different kinds of gear, new things, maybe change the stats on items. Tons of new stuff there. Sweet. Equipment slot filter has been added to the trading post. Okay. And then trading post now displays a timestamp. So that's nice to see. So you can see, oh, hey, this has been out there for like 5 minutes. I probably don't need to trade them anymore. And then several other changes not listed were included. Thank you for your patience. All right. Looks like that is it for patch number 1. Big changes, huge changes. We'll have to see. They didn't give us a ton of specifics on a lot of these, so we'll have to see once we get in game exactly what's changed. Like, hey, we rebalanced all the weapons, right? But what did they actually change? Not included in here. So it's going to be interesting to go through and figure out. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will catch you all later.